Welcome to the Astro Boy 9 channel on YouTube. I'm Kevin Montague. I'm the proprietor of the YouTube channel, even though Google owns these YouTube channels, but they let all of us share in their technology. And not for free, of course. You know, everyone that advertises on Google AdWords pays for it all, which is how they make their money. But today I'd like to talk to you about something where I could use your help. If you think you can help, I'm going to leave the comments section open on this because I want to see how many might read this who might have some ideas who can help me with the problem I'm having. I opened a CDbaby Artist Page on October 5th of 2009. I had just lost my cousin who had passed away. And it was a suicide, sadly enough, and it's a complex story, but he had been my caregiver for many years, taking care of me, and I was left alone here with still remaining problems related to my health that I was struggling with, and I'm doing much better even today, but haven't fully overcome everything yet. I had to move forward with my life, so my brother met with me, and I had started to create a company called Opal Star Industries so many years ago. I was very close to making my first multi-million-dollar strike with a product I had in the market, but my health got hit and that whole thing died on me. And he came in one day and we talked, and he suggested I raise Opal Star back up. Well, today it's no longer Opal Star, it's KFFM Enterprises. Those are my initials, KFFM Enterprises. And I have a number of sites. And I started first with music I had written. I'm an artisan and scientist by background and training. I had written a lot of music when I was younger because I'd hoped to be in the industry, performing. And my life went in a different direction. It got too complex with the way the thing was being dealt out to me. And I thought I'd start with the CDbaby Artist Page and take some of my old song works that I had done in my own humble recording studio, and using a kind of double compression technology that comes close to sounding like 24-track recording quality with the works. And back in that time period, in 1989, I sat down in my studio one day. I was thinking of the old Airwolf series in 1984 that Belisarius Productions put out. For those of you who are not Airwolf fans, it's about a super helicopter with advanced computer technology at the time, which was designed by a madman called Dr. Charles Moffat. And eventually he lost control of the copter, and it gets into the hands of two other fellas who hide the copter from the world, and they're the only ones who know where it is. The characters' names are Dominic Santini and Stringfellow Hawk, played by the late Ernest Borgnine and Jan Michael Vincent. And Alex Cord was in it, and there were others too from that time period. And anyway, it was a very popular series for quite a while back in that time period. And I was sitting in my studio one day thinking about it, and I knew Sylvester LeVay's original score. It already was out and recorded, and I didn't want to do that. I know people sometimes they hear this little ditty that I did. I call it a ditty. And they say, well, it's not the original score and blah, blah, and you've messed it up. And I go, oh, shut up. You know, that wasn't my intent. Boy, you lost it completely is what I say. Because I was listening to the background music that LeVay did. And I got these impressions and inspirations. So I put this little 2-minute thing together. It was fun to do. I thought everyone might enjoy it one day, you know. And it went into the can and just stayed there because my life took off in other directions. So when I got to CDbaby, I finally one day pulled it out of put out the tape reel with the multi-track recordings and put it through my computer stuff to bring it all up to speed, and loaded it up onto CDbaby. And to my great surprise, within the first month, it started to sell. And it kept selling. It was selling like 6 to 12 copies every month without any advertising. I can't even get my original works to do that because I didn't get a chance to be established when I was younger as an artist. And, you know, you have to have your looks in your youth and be cute and sexy looking and all that. You know, I'm 60 years old. Forget it. That's behind me. Some of you hopefully are laughing at that. You know, forget it. It's all sex oriented. It's all youth oriented. So I didn't get my chance. But I put this thing out there and watched to see if any of it would sell. And for some reason, this little thing I called the Airwolf theme music remix was selling. It's doing that even today. At least 6 to 12 copies every month. So once in a while I get a check, you know, when it reaches $50 or whatever from CDbaby, so that's nice. A little extra spending money. And so I got thinking about this. And I thought to myself, why is it doing this? I have talked to CDbaby's artist relations department up the wazoo, and they don't know because their demographics department is crap, quite frankly. They're working to change it, I've been told. But they get most of their stuff from Apple iTunes, which I can download to get some idea where the sales were. You try to look for a pattern in marketing so you can try to send your advertising out to gain sales. That's what the world is about. It's all about sales and marketing. So I've for years been struggling with this, going, what in the world is going on? Where is this all coming from? There seems to be this audience that's scattered throughout the world. It's like a giant haystack, and if it had metal washers in it, they're all scattered throughout this giant haystack, and I'm trying to look for the metal washers so I can make sales. And probably a magnet would do, but what kind of magnet do you use when it comes to people? How do you pull all the washers out and separate the hay, you know, so you can find the audience and ask them for a buying decision? So I'm not there yet, but I've talked with CDbaby. I get the stuff from Apple iTunes. I've tried talking with other people on this. Nobody seems to have any ideas, so I thought I'd come to all of you in YouTube land and see if you've got some ideas that might help me along. And I want to tell you this. One of the things I suspect the reason why it's selling is because it's different. It's not the original score that LaVey did. It's nice to listen to. It's fun. I think that's the most important thing. I think it's fun to listen to with the way I did the arrangement and the instruments I used to do it with. And I thought of that for a while through the years while it was selling, and I thought, well, maybe it's that everyone's trying to tell me that they want something new and different than LaVey's old electro-techno score, as it's called. The way he did it back in 1984 when Belisarius had him do the weekly, you know, composing for each television episode. And so last year, 2014, I sat down and used a program that, and I set the whole thing up to be the format of the London Philharmonic Symphony Orchestra. And thought, what if I took the original score, no one's done this that I know of, and wrote it in standard classical format, like a motion picture film would be, using that design. And you know, I thought, well, if we did a remake of Airwolf some 30 years later, what would the score sound like? What would the opening music sound like? How would Johnny Williams have approached this, or Danny Elfman maybe, you know, or James Horner, all these guys who have made it in the industry? So I gave that a lot of thought, and then one day I finally decided to work 24/7 around the clock for about 5 weeks and write. And what I came up with is, I think, is a fabulous sound. Now, I don't know how you guys receive it on your end. Depends on what computer system you have, speaker system. But when I transfer it to disc and put it on my stereo system here in the living room, it is powerful. It just blows you away to the sound of this thing. So don't judge the quality by what you're getting, because you're not getting the full quality that I get to listen to here in my own home. But I went ahead and finished the darn thing. I liked it. I titled it Airwolf Returns. No one had used the title that I could find on Google, although a couple of motion picture films had been done. And there's a reason why. I'm going to show you something pretty soon. I want you to, you know, make a judgment on. So don't go away yet. So I wrote this thing. I set it up on CDbaby for release on CDbaby November 15th as we went into the holiday season. and then global release on December 1st to all of their partners worldwide. And to my surprise, again, the moment I put it out there, I had sales happening right away. Not a lot, but they were happening steadily. And this is the full orchestrated score, you know, sounding like the Philharmonic Symphony Orchestra. And I went, oh, that's interesting. What's going on out there, you know? Because I'd like to reach this audience. And so it's been doing that since Christmas. And we're in July now, 2015. And, but I still don't know how to zero in on this audience. So here's what I want you to do for me. With all of that said, those of you who might be marketing wizards or geniuses, or even those who just might have some good ideas, how I can sort this thing out, I'd like you to leave in the comment section your ideas. I'll read them. Now, if you're going to just be crass and rude and so forth, I'm just going to delete you. I mean, don't even bother. You know, I won't even listen. But if you're an intellectual person and you've got a good head on your shoulders, and you know, go listen to it on CDbaby. I'm showing it on the screen from time to time here, so you can go look at my artist page and listen to the sample I have going. You're going to hear a good sample in just a minute, and give it some thought. And if you've got some really good ideas I could use, I'd like to know. I send out about 30 to 50,000 emails a day through a service I have in Beijing, China. And everything's, you know, operates under the spam laws. You know, I abide by all the spam assassin rules and regulations and stuff. But I get the word out there for that, plus my new book. And my subscriber level on my website has grown from 0 to like 4,300 in a year using that. But it's still a big world. It's 7.5 billion people. 4,300 is nothing next to what has to be reached. So I could use your help with this. I'm struggling with my own financial situation because of what I went through with my health and the and I could use your help with this. It's a good exchange. I mean, you can buy my music even for like $1 on the partner pages. And if I could get a number, you know, get thousands of you or even a few million of you, that'd be great to buy my music. You'd bail me out. I could continue to write and write more music, write the new books, and help the sick and the dying. And those of you who love the work I'm doing with the music, I can write some more good stuff for all of you that you'll enjoy. But listen to the Airwolf remix. Listen to the Airwolf Returns. It's called Airwolf Returns, the motion picture original score. I didn't put the words original score on it. Someone at CDbaby did. Because I saw that when I got it approved, and I went, oh, I didn't add that in. But if they want to put that in there, that's fine, because it is. It's a brand new score. It's totally different. But I think, especially those of you who love classical music will like it, or love motion picture type style music, like the kind that Johnny Williams writes. I think you'll enjoy what I did with it, because I've been studying music since I was a kid. I just never got my day in the sun, so you know, I don't know how much longer I have to live at my age, but while I'm here, you know, I might as well do what I love to do. And it seems like there's an audience for this thing with Airwolf, so I took a stab at it. Let's see if you like it, and let me know if you do. And now what I want you to hear is, here's what I did. I got an idea. I don't have, you know, $50 million or $100 million to go do a motion picture film remake of Airwolf. So I took out about 2.5 to 3 minutes of the battle scene in the pilot film that was done in 1984 that Belisarius Productions did. Sylvester LeVay uses his electro-techno music to that entire scene. I took that out, let's put it that way, and put in my music so you can hear the difference of my music being used if it were used current day. Say we did a motion picture film, or someone did it and hired me out, and the classical music style approach had to be there. Although I'd probably mix in the electro-techno stuff into the motion picture film too. I'd use a blend of both actually if I were going to score it. And I went ahead and I put in some of my music while you watch the battle scene that was done about 30 years ago in the television pilot film where Stringfellow Hawk has lost his girlfriend to Charles Moffat, who was left her in the desert to die. He's furious because everyone he loves dies all the time on him, so he gets an Airwolf and chases this guy down through the desert and finally blows him away in the end. And I sort of lead up into all of that. But this time you're going to hear my orchestration. And it gives a different feel, I think, to those of you who are used to the electro-techno music, to the whole thing. But I don't think it detracts from it, because I did a good job with the score. And I think it's just as exciting. But it gives you a taste of what if we did do a remake of Airwolf? What if the audience was there? And this approach of music was used throughout the film, especially the opening score. How would it affect the image of the final delivery? And you know, normally when you do this stuff, producers and directors, what they do is they have screenings, you know, to see what an audience will do. Because if something doesn't go over well, then they go back to the drawing board and redo it, you know. Or they'll change the music, or they'll change the scenes, or they'll redo the acting, or whatever, until they get it to where they get the kind of audience response they're looking for, because they want to make sure it sells so they can pay back the venture capitalists who spotted the $50 to $100 million. So they don't come out dead broke on the film when it becomes a global release. So watch this. I won't come back when this is done. I'll just put a little, I got this little 1-minute ad I created at the end you can watch, and then I'll end it. And just let me know, number one, if you like it, and number two, what you might suggest I could do to try to find this audience that's out there that keeps buying. But it's all scattered all over the world, and I can't zero in on it, and I could use your help. So watch this, enjoy it. This is Kevin Montague on the Astro Boy 9 channel, signing off. I'll see you next time.